Have you ever liked someone so much that you did something completely insane just to see them again?
I did. I even created a fake account, made a whole plan, and it worked.
But what I discovered about myself after that changed everything. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Angel Lee here. If you don't know me, it's been 2 years that I'm studying about autism, and there is a lot of things that I've been thinking and a lot of things that it's making so much sense now. One thing that I realized that time that I thought that was true love, I had one boyfriend before that and it was nothing like I was feeling. Now I realize that what I was feeling about that person was definitely an autistic obsession. There was just something about him that made me want to be with him all the time. And I started to be so obsessed with him. He said, "Oh,
I think we shouldn't see each other anymore.
It's not good for you.
No, I changed.
You don't need to worry about it. I don't want to have a relationship also, so don't worry.
And I'm totally cool about we being just friends.
I started to notice how his actions was causing so much impact in me. I was crazy, super crazy. Like, oh,
I can't go out with you because I don't have money.
and I was like,
Oh, don't worry. We can go out and I will pay everything.
Just go out with me.
I was begging him to go out with me all the time. And I didn't know what to do anymore. And I was making plans in my head, thinking on ways that I could see him again. And there was a time that he was about 4 months already without talking to me. By that time, what I could think was create a fake account, talk to him pretending to be another girl that have interest in him. She just suddenly found him on social media and she wanted to have a date with him, and it worked. I was so sad because he was talking to her, that was me, but the real me was there and he was not responding me for months. And I was already saying that I've changed, and I was not going to send him a lot of big texts about my feelings, and I knew how humiliating that was for me, but I didn't care. I've been 2 years in this project of making him like me. It was my internal mission project to make this guy to be my boyfriend. And in these 2 years, I study a lot. I work on myself a lot. Damn, there is something wrong, and there is something wrong with me. And this, what I'm feeling, is not normal, definitely. Something needs to change. Look what I'm doing. Anyway, I organized a date with him and the fake girl that I was pretending to be. And the plan was that I was going to pretend that I was exact in the same place that he is, like the destiny. The girl was not going to appear and I would be there and he would go out with me, and it worked. And it's super crazy. And he was there and I was like, oh, you guys stood up. And then we went to watch a movie. After that date that he was not planning, he started to talk to me again. I think I was already 1 year at that time making plans to make him my boyfriend. But yeah, I definitely knew there was something wrong with me and the way I was feeling about him. And I started to analyze everything very carefully. Like, why I like this guy, why? And I also started to learn how to be a person that it's likable. And after a lot of self-awareness and a lot of study and analyzing myself, analyzing everything, I realized that why I was so fascinated about him was he had everything that I admire and everything that I wanted in myself. He was that kind of person that easily make friends, super confident, someone that is not afraid to be himself. Like, you see that he's being truth. I don't know, he just have something that makes everyone easily like him. It doesn't matter if you just met him. He just had that magnetic, I don't know, automatic charismatic. It was definitely something I was learning, and I just wanted to be always around him. I was always analyzing how he talked to people, how he make questions that I would never make them because I would think that it's invasive or inappropriate to ask. I just love to learn the way he interacts with people. And it was very weird. I was definitely a crazy person that was always talking about him, only thinking and talking about him all the time. My friends couldn't hear about him anymore. They were super tired about me talking. I was tired about thinking about him, and I was tired about talking about him. But today I realize it's just he was important to me because he was important for my change, to understanding myself better. It was a big change in my life. I was working in my self-confidence, in my self-love, and I was working to see myself as someone valuable, you know. I was like, I think I want to be with him because I think he's a valuable person. If I'm next to him, maybe I'm going to be a valuable person also, just by being next to him. What I need to do is work on myself. Everything that he is, I need to work on myself, so I don't need to admire him. I can admire myself. I admire in him that he search a lot of random stuffs and he have a lot of random infos. He always have a lot of cool stuffs to say of the stuffs that he searched. I started to search my own stuffs, random stuffs that I like. I wanted to be an interesting person like he was. And the most important thing that he had that I really wanted to learn was self-confidence that he had. He's not afraid to talk about stuffs that he likes. I want to be like this. I want to be able to talk about stuffs when I feel like talking. I wanted to connect with people. The instant that I met him, I knew that he knew what I didn't know. After I start working on myself, I finally could stop that craziness, started to work on my mental health, self-confidence, started to like myself more. Well, just to finish and pack up this story, after 2 years that I was working on myself and all these stuffs, and he finally said that he wanted to be my boyfriend. Only when I was really ready to love myself before others. I think it's just something people feel. It's something you can't just pretend, like always going back and say, no, I'm changed. And I was blocking him and saying, no, I can't see you anymore. And then I was back, and then I was saying, no, I just want to go out with you again. We can be friends. I was definitely ready to move on. After we broke up, I realized after that I was ADHD and that he was also ADHD. He was definitely ADHD. Because after we started to date for real, I was in a phase that I was ready to be that person. But he being ADHD like he was always cutting me off. He was always just talking about stuffs that he wanted, and he was talking the same stuffs again like he never told me before. And I was like, you don't remember this story that you're telling me? I was there. And it was a feeling that he didn't care. But that was the thing that I like about him in first place, that he was being so vulnerable and he was saying about stuffs that was things that when I heard them, I felt special, like, oh, he's sharing something special with me. But then I realized that it was not that I was special. It was something that he repeats, but it's not like intentionally. It's something really ADHD. He just don't remember that he already said it over and over again. And it was always like,
oh, I need to say, otherwise if I don't say it, I'm gonna forget.
I always hold my own thoughts and I always forget also. But why? Why can't you do it? It's just I just started to realize that we didn't match that much because he was a talkative person and I wanted to talk more, and it was like he was stealing my breeze. And I was like, why you don't let me talk ever? But the most important thing that I realized that we didn't match at all. Definitely was someone better for him and someone better for me. He was a person that needed to go out like all the time, every day. I think it was his way of recharging. At first, I was always making this effort to go with him because I was learning and learning. But then I started to be like, I just don't like to go out that much like he likes, you know? And he's a person that feels suffocated at home, and he was always like, I need to go out. And I think that he deserves someone that could go with him, and I deserve someone that could be with me at home. It was not that he was wrong or I was wrong. It's just I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this because I felt like the way it ended was a little bit cruel, also of my part, because I didn't know what I was feeling, what was happening, and why he was the way he was, forgetful, telling me stories that I was already in the story, but he didn't remember that I was there at all, stuff like this. But it's very ADHD, and it was very autistic and ADHD of my part also. I wasn't wrong and he wasn't wrong. It's just nice to, after all these years, it's just good to understand and look back to all of this in a way that doesn't hurt, because it was something that was weird. That was definitely weird for me to remember. Anyway, this video was about obsession. When you have this obsession in a person, you literally just want to be with that person, and it's normal to make crazy plans, systematic plans to be with that person. It's just regulating. It's hard because that person, it's what regulates your emotions. When you're with that person, you're happy, and when you're not, you're not. And it's cool that became a lesson, right? In this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit, one of my thoughts about all these discoveries. But yeah, it's been super exciting to find more and more pieces from the puzzle. Subscribe, don't forget to comment something. Comment if you already had obsession or special interest in someone and you felt like this also, because I definitely felt that I was crazy
shit at that time.
I couldn't really talk about all that with anyone, like deeply how crazy I was really feeling inside. But now I feel like there is more people that could understand about this feeling, that I will try to bring more and more. Anyway, goodbye.
So I'ma figure out what else we succeed, and then
What I was
invest all of my
saying?
time into that
What
and
I was
proceed.
saying?
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective.